Hey, it's Josh from the band Cynation, and I'm gonna be reviewing the 2016 Gibson Les Paul Studio. Cynation TV.
Oh yeah!
This is the first in a series of videos where I shall be taking you through all the equipment that I slowly save up and buy. Because no, I am not a rich, famous musician just yet. With the help of you people, maybe I can be. But anyway, until then, I have to work very hard, save every dollar up, and when every dollar counts, you make a lot of decisions when it comes to what guitar you buy, what amp you get, what pedals, and you really got to think about, what do you really need? And, because sometimes, you can get distracted with acquiring all this gear and you forget about the most important thing, which is just playing guitar, right? So some of you will probably have noticed that I'm not in the same clothes that I was a second ago. It's not a costume change, it's only because I am shooting this on a different day because I don't have time to sit down and finish these videos at one go. So you will see my clothes change from time to time. For those of you that noticed, well done, you're paying attention. Now, first things first is tuners. Every guitarist needs one of these little snark tuners. They clip onto your headstock, they're about $30, and they just work great. Yep. Because if your guitar's not in tune, you can forget about everything else. Now, the other thing that you'll probably notice is that my guitar is not plugged in. Now, the reason for that is I think when you're trying an electric guitar for the first time, you really want to hear how it sounds acoustically. Because if it doesn't sound good acoustically, you can add all this other stuff later on, it's not really going to improve it that much. So I'm just going to play a couple of chords and a bit of a lick to give you an idea of how this guitar sounds. Alright, and now let's get on to the sounds of it plugged in. And while we transition to that, Ken Burns effect. Alright, so here are some of the sounds plugged in. I'm using the Amplitude app on the Apple Mac. Here's the neck pickup. And let's have a listen to the bridge. So it's got a pretty fat tone, the Les Paul, a pretty dark tone. I'm just plugged into I believe this is an Amp Sim 4 Clean Fender amp. And well, this is a 2016 model, it also comes with call taps, so you get a bit of that spanky sound. So I'm just going to call tap the bridge pickup. Yeah, I personally don't quite like the call tap sounds. I think it's pretty good for some clean stuff when you're just doing some chords. But yeah, I I hardly use them, to be honest. This is the neck pickup chord tapped. Wow, I'm not gonna cut that out because that happens. We don't play perfect all the time, we screw up. Sound on the neck. It's not bad, I prefer it compared to the bridge, but honestly I play 90% of my stuff neck pickup. You know, I'll put my tone about 8 or 9. And now the fun part of the video, the high gain sounds. Got a bit carried away there, I will admit, but there is nothing better than a Gibson plugged into a Marshall style amp with the gain cranked, I mean not too high. You know, I put my gain on, what's that, like, that's probably 6.5, 7, because you still want some clarity in your notes. Great pickups, really responsive to the volume not being rolled back. Need to tune my guitar, be right back. Alright, I apologize for that last bit of the video, my guitar was pretty out of tune, but I'm gonna keep that in the video because that is something that anyone who owns a Gibson, a Les Paul, or anyone considering to buy one should know. I mean, Gibsons, the D and G string do not stay in tune very well. It's just the design of it, and that's just how it is. It doesn't matter whether you buy the cheapest Les Paul there is on the market or you buy, you know, the most expensive, you know, custom, historic, whatever they're called. That's just something you deal with. You know, you tune your guitar between sets or between songs, you know, if you're playing it live. It's not a big issue, it's just something to be aware of if you want to play a Les Paul. If you're a Gibson owner, you already know it. And those of us that love Gibson, we live with it. Alright? So let's give it another go. They're just a great guitar to just shred out on. I mean, and just play, you know, they're great for wailing. that's embarrassing. You'll probably figure out I'm not the cleanest guitar player there is, right? But I just love rock and roll, and I think rock and roll, yes, you practice very hard, but it's not always about playing the perfect line, the perfect lead. A lot of it's in the moment, and that's why I don't edit these videos. I show you what I do, I show you when I screw up. So those are the basic sounds from the Les Paul. After this, I will do a clip where I'll do a bit of an improvised blues jam to a backing track, so you can get an idea of how the guitar sounds in a context of a song. Now, I bought this from Sky Music in Clayton in Melbourne, Australia. Great shop, love the stuff they have. It hasn't had any professional setup. Right out the box, it's pretty good. The fret ends, I will say, on the bottom, they're not perfect. They're pretty good, honestly. The top's nice. The bottom could have been done a little bit better, but look, it's a Les Paul Studio. It's entry-level Gibson. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I've had no problems with dead notes. Tuning, like I mentioned, that's a Gibson thing, so we won't talk about that. Other than that, I'm really happy with it. So if you're considering buying a Les Paul, a Gibson, and someone asks me, should I get one? My answer is yes, but, and here's the thing, and I don't know whether this is just with Gibson or guitars in general, even though this is a Les Paul 2016 studio model, if you went to a shop and you saw another one, I can almost guarantee you it will not be the same as this one. Because when I bought it, there were 6 Les Paul Studios, same year, same model, and none of them sounded like this one. None of them played like this one. And in fact, if you held them side by side, the wood on this neck is slightly lighter and you can see the grain come through more, which gives it, you know, I find a bit more of a brighter tone. But all I can say is they can be great guitars. You have to try them. And the people at the shop knew this too. Out of all the 6 Les Paul studios, the rest of them were reduced down to about, some were 1,600, some were 1,800 Australian dollars. This was the only one that was still $2,200. So like the shop owners, they know it. They know they're not all the same. Some are better than others. So if you love Gibson, if you love the Les Paul sound, the Les Paul feel, go out and try a bunch of them, right? Because you can't buy a guitar off the internet without trying it. It's not like clothes. You have to try it. Every guitar's different. Yeah, every piece of wood, different part of the tree. Some people are gonna probably have heaps of comments about it, saying that this is all in my head. Maybe it is, all right, but this is my opinion. Go try it for yourselves and make up your own mind. All right, well, I'm gonna go on to the next section now, and it's just me jamming along to a backing blues track off YouTube. So I hope you enjoy. watching this, that means you stuck through to the end of the video, and for that, I thank you very much. Now, if you would like to support me in any way, please subscribe, like, unlike, comment, negative, positive, I don't care, I want to hear them all. So once again, thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time.